Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 278, Pirates at White Sox.
Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 Carryover League. We're continuing into interleague play with a fascinating matchup between the defending world champion Pittsburgh Pirates and the hard-charging Chicago White Sox. Two teams who won their divisions a year ago. That's the format now. The remaining four interleague battles are all teams who were in first a year ago. In this case, both teams are playing as good as last year or close to it and have the same ambitions, you could say, to win the whole thing. Let's take you to game one, though. We have to look at game one. Dig right into game one of a best of three, which opened up in Three Rivers Stadium. It's a battle of the aces, the lefties, Wilbur Wood and Jim Rooker. Footnote, both guys have the same 6'4" template. Here's the difference. Wood's that lefty who gets righties out very well. Not so great against lefties, which I like. Where Rooker does what a lefty does, get lefties out better than righties. Doesn't work out, though, because the Pirates' left-handed batters really knock left-handed pitching. I'm talking Al Oliver, Richie Hebner, Willie Stargell. They don't sit on the bench or platoon or any of that nonsense. They hit lefties better than righties in most cases. To be a disadvantage for Wood in this. And moreover, in this game, this is a game for Wilbur Wood to forget. Sometimes your guy just gets knocked around. Strat-O-Matic can be a cruel mistress, and every ace in the sport can get knocked around mercilessly if the team keeps rolling their own cards. Let's pick this thing up in the bottom of the first. You get singles by Clemente Hebner, and with two outs, Willie Stargell, three-run homer off his own card. And Wilbur Wood suffers a three-run bomb with two outs, something he didn't normally do, give up grand slams and three-run bombs. Third inning, Clemente Hebner, it's a two-run bomb against him. In the fourth inning, there's an error to Bucky Dent at second, because Aparicio at short and Orta's on the bench. After two outs, an Oliver double, and Clemente gets into the three-run homer action. Thinking about pulling Wood early, but the issue of that is that this White Sox bullpen has pitched decently, better than average, really. Gossage has been stunning. The other three guys aren't necessarily living up to expectations, but it's overworked as the White Sox have been in war after war after war after war. So Wood goes back out there for a fifth. Once we go back to the top, we switch over to Mike Garman. It doesn't matter. It's the Pittsburgh Lumber Company, folks. Stargell, three-run homer. He's 2 for 5 with two three-run homers in this game. It's really all academic. The White Sox bats did a decent job. Melton had a homer. Dick Allen, two-run homer. Not many for him this year. Steve Bry, free agent signing in the offseason, two-run homer. But it's a 13-6 finish for your Pittsburgh Pirates, winning game one of a best of three. And yes, again, folks, the home team keeps winning these interleague battles. As we go to game two in Chicago, before we get to that, let's look at the standings. These two teams are in a dogfight in their leagues. These games are important to these two teams. We'll take a look at the National League. And look at this, folks. Boy, that's some good baseball right there from the Cubs, Pirates, and Reds. I know it's not a gaudy over 500 scenario, but it's because they keep playing each other. It's a short season, that sort of thing. But it'd be really sad if one or two of these teams don't make the playoffs. And over in the Midwest, the White Sox, It seems like it's just going to be them and the Royals, you'd think. There's the Twins and Brewers are starting to fade a bit. But the White Sox, they still want to chase down these Royals and win the whole division. They're 12-10 now. They really want to win this game and not lose the series 0-2, and then you don't even get to play a game 3. So this is a huge game for the White Sox. You don't want to be 12-11 at the end of this series. Then it's going to be much more difficult to catch the Royals before the All-Star break unless they go into a swoon. So here we are in Game 2 in Chicago. Pirates at White Sox. Your starting pitchers. Oh, we got some nice ones here. The Pirates will put the Moose on the loose. It's Bob Moose, running rampant, 13-10, 291 ERA in 72 and 226 innings with a World Series ring on his finger. Against the young phenom, Bart Johnson, we've seen him a couple times here on YouTube, with his 74 card, 10-4, 273 ERA in 122 innings. Game 1 was a battle of lefties that the Pirates hammered. Game 2, battle of righties, advantage White Sox, plus they're home. They got to win this one. Well, they don't have to win it. They're still a great team, but you'd really like to win this one. Bob Moose, Bart Johnson from Comiskey Park. Let's get started. Leading off for your Pirates, Richie Hebner. 2-4 rounds a second. Roberto Clemente, 35, single 1 to 15, base hit. He is hot, folks. Al Oliver, 4-11, first C. Runner at second for Stargell, 49 is a walk. And 2 on 2 outs, it's Richie Zisk, a right-handed batter. This is the guy Bart Johnson wants. 37 for Zisk is a strikeout. Yeah, Bart's much better against righties. He's got to wear down on those righties. Beware Hebner, Oliver, Stargell, Dave Parker, and even Hal King is in the lineup catching today for the Pirates instead of Sanguine, just to get an extra left-handed bat in the game. Bottom of the first. It's Carlos May. 68 off Moose is a base hit. Ace Stealer, do you take advantage of the catcher with a zero arm? And you do. And you're thrown out stealing. My goodness. They just cannot steal in Strat-O-Matic, folks. Or at least, I just don't live up to the proper percentage of how I should be successful. So I guess maybe in an afterlife, I'll get really, really lucky stealing bases, because in this lifetime it ain't happening. If I have a lifetime 70% chance of stealing, I ain't getting it. I'm getting like 48% or something. I don't know, folks. Anyway, 1 out, Buddy Bradford. 53 rolls to first. And George Orta, 55, second C. Top of 2, it's Dave Parker, 111, rolls to third. Hal King, 55, is a walk. Larry Milbourne, 412, center. Rennie Stennett, 34, pops to short, bottom of the second. Dick Allen, 66, is a strikeout. Ken Henderson, 64, catcher's X. Your catcher, Hal King, 40-16. And he makes the play there. Throw a guy out in the first inning. They don't miss Sanguine, obviously. Bill Melton, 1-8. Let's take a look at the Bill Melton card of 1973. We'll call it the last good Bill Melton card. 20 homers, 276 average. Let's not forget those 75 walks, folks. 29 doubles. Very balanced. Slightly better against lefties as expected. Solid third baseman, one of the top in the American League. Bill Melton, 1-8, homer 1-17, and it is gone. And the Chi Sox have a lead. Bob Stinson, 37, single 1-17. He gets it. Talkin' Tony Muser, 6-12 off Moose, rolls to first. 1-0 Chi Sox. Top of the third. Richie Hebner, got to minimize the damage of these lefties at the top. 38 Hebner singles. Roberto Clemente, 56, flies to left. Al Oliver, they roll in their own cards. You can forget about it. Let's take a look at Al Oliver. My goodness, folks. Yeah, definitely not the best card he's ever had, even though it's a great card. Al Oliver. I'd put him in the Hall of Fame. I would. I don't know. I was on the Burt Blyleven should be on the Hall of Fame thing for the longest time, and then he got in, and I missed it altogether. And there went my argument. Oh, he's in the Hall of Fame. They got him in finally. But did Al Oliver get in? I get him in there. Oliver had a batting title with the Expos in '82. The Strat-O-Matic Al Oliver won a World Series. He was great in Texas, great in Pittsburgh, center fielder, first base, left fielder, could hit lefties fine. Anyway, 2-5. I'll get off the soapbox, folks. 2-5, triple 1-4. That's a two-base hit. Hebner will not take on the Henderson arm. Second and third, one out. Willie Stargell. 111 grounds to second base. That scores a run. No big deal yet. It's 1-1, 2 outs. Richie Zisk. 58, Skies the center. Well, he gets out of the inning, minimal damage. We're tied at 1. Bottom of the third. Louis Aparicio. 4-4 off Moose, third X. Hebner's a 3E12. Makes the play. Carlos May. 3-6. Carlos May. Let's take a look at his card of 72. It really was Dick Allen and Carlos May together just pushing the White Sox. They were pushing the Oakland A's to the limit in the American League West with fantastic performances. Tied with a 308. Each guy hit 308. They gave Allen the tiebreaker for best batting average by percentage points. 3-6. Homer 1-12, and it is gone. And the Chi Sox take a 2-1 lead. Buddy Bradford 5-12. He strikes out. George batting out of order 47, second X. Second baseman today is Stennett 2E20. He makes the play. All right. Pirates erased one deficit. Can they do it again? It's Dave Parker. 2-7's a K. Hal King. 2-7's a walk. That's the lefty advantage there. Larry Milbourne. 2-10 is a single to center field. King holds a second. 2 on, 1 out. Rennie Stennett. 39's a 5-4-3 double play. Nice pitching by Bart getting out of that one. Bottom of the fourth, it's Dick Allen. 4-4, third X. Hebner 3-12. Makes the play. Ken Henderson, 57, flies right. White Sox have 5 home runs thus far in the series. They had Allen, was it Steve Bry, and who was the other guy who had a homer? In game 1? Forget, but they got 2 more today. So, will it be enough? Bill Melton looking for number 2 of the day. This guy's center field. 2-1 in the 5th. Much better pitching than in game 1. Richie Hebner. 46 off of Bart Johnson. You're going to get this. Double 1 and 2. Base hit. Clemente. 64. Short X. Oh, you need this out of Aparicio. A 2E24 at short. And he gets the double play on the fielding rating. 2 outs. Al Oliver, Hall of Famer, pops to first base. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
White Sox in a tight affair. But it's been that way all year, folks. It's been all year long the White Sox have played the tightest, highly contested games all year. They're a little bit better than average overall, but it's just such a difficult schedule, and it's going to be really hard for this team to create some breathing room. And frankly, look, in football, if a team makes the playoffs as a wild card and then they get red hot in the playoffs, they can go all the way to the Super Bowl. Maybe that's the White Sox theory if they can't win this division. Just get in as a wild card, be on the road, become a road warrior, and just dominate. Maybe that's their path with this difficult schedule. But we'll see. Bottom of the 5th, it's Bob Stinson. 56, pops to first. Tony Muser, 56. Well, popped to first. And Aparicio, 510 off the Moose card. This is Homer 1 fly ball. It's fly ball. Go to the 6th. Bart Johnson's a starter 7. Got to watch him carefully. We do have Gossage free to roam. He could get a 3-inning save if we wanted him to try it. Willie Stargell to increase his Cy Young chances, I guess. Stargell, 66. Flies all right. Zisk, 45. Double 1 to 10 off Bart is a single. The Cobra, Dave Parker, 410. Third X, Melton, can he turn it? He is a 326 at third base. It's a ground ball C. Has trouble getting out of the glove. Throws over to first. Runner moves up to second as the tie run. Got to get this guy out. Hal King, he's walked twice. 4-7, no sir. It's a base hit to center field, a lefty. Zisk, though, is an 11 runner, 12-13. -2 arm. He's going to jam on the brakes, surprisingly, as an 11. As Milbourne and Stennett coming up. Here's Larry Milbourne. 1/8's a walk, and that loads the bases, but it's a righty, Rennie Stennett. Big at bat here for Bart Johnson. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Let's take a look at the Stennett card. 75, 286 average. Most importantly, he can field suddenly. He's a 2E20. He'll be a 1 with his 77, 78 card one of those years and hit 336 and then get 7 hits in a game in one of those years. But solid at second. Big at bat for the White Sox. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Rennie Stennett. 6-10 off of Bart. This is third X again. This is Melton. And Melton makes the play at third base. You don't have to change anything. This was the last X we rolled when he ground ball C'd. So he makes the play. That's all we needed. Just stepped on the bag. At third base. 2-1 affair. What a fine game this is. Moose has done nice. He can't keep the ball in the ballpark. He's only given up 3 hits, though. 4 hits. Carlos May leads off. 67 pops to third. Buddy Bradford, 53, first. And George Orta, 66, pops to second. Bob Moose, 2-1 game, 7th inning. Bart Johnson, top of the lineup. So you don't like this, folks. You got lefty, righty, lefty, lefty. If you employ Terry Forster, this is where you have to get him in the game. And that's it. We're going to call it a day for Bart. You got to start nailing stuff down. I know Bart Johnson's good, but with a 2.73 ERA. But Terry Forster's got a 2.25 ERA, and he's a hell of a lot better. He doesn't give up any homers whatsoever on his card. Terry Forster, 6-5, 2.25 ERA in 100 innings, no homers allowed. Nobody on base, gets to start the inning. He and Gossage might be asked to get the last 9 outs of this. It's not like the White Sox haven't been in these games. They've got plenty of experience. A lot of it's not good, though, but at least they have the experience. They've suffered enough heartbreak, it doesn't really matter at this point. Top of the 7th, Richie Hebner. 1-7, that's a walk. Roberto Clemente. 1-6, let's take a look at the Hall of Famer. This is the last year of Clemente, 72. A full season, then the tragedy happens in the offseason, so this is the last year we'll see Clemente in our league. 1-6, triple, 1-11 double. That's a triple, and there goes the lead. Thank you, Terry Forster. Another blown save, of which he has many. Oh boy. Runner at third. They're going to bring the infield up in a 2-2 affair to face Al Oliver. 2-3. Third B. Huge break for the Chi Sox. Infield came up with a runner at third. You get a third B. So they got Clemente between third and home in a rundown. Got him out. That puts Oliver at first with 1 out. And now you got Pop Stargell. 57's a K. And with 2 outs, it's Richie Zisk. 1-9 is a single to center, but it won't do that much damage. Oliver will hold at second. And you got Dave Parker, lefty. And they definitely have guys on the bench here. They're going to take Parker out against Forster and go Sanguian. And the White Sox are going to have a mound visit. And Sanguin, let's take a look at the Sanguin card as a pinch hitter here. 298 and 72. Hits lefties better than righties. Doesn't have power against lefties, though. Forster can't give up home runs. Forster's a horse, theoretically. I'm leaving him in there. And you just got to get this dude out. So here's the pitch to Manny Sanguin. 54 is center X. This is Henderson's a 2 in center field, and he makes the grab. So Sanguin will take over catcher's duties. The assumption is Forster wasn't going to go there anyway, so Hal King, who was a catcher, he'll leave the game. We'll stick an outfielder in that spot where Parker was, which is Theodore, who will lead off the next inning. Next inning would be a good opportunity to get a right-handed pitcher in if you want to face Theodore, Milborn, and Stennett for the White Sox, who find themselves in a 2-2 tie. It's been like it all year. The White Sox have been tied literally all year long. Of course, you can't finish a baseball game in a tie. And this team has been through the ringers of ups and downs. Stretch time in Chicago. We're enjoying this wonderful light on the south side of Chicago blues compilation with some wonderful stuff on it. We have Syl Johnson's on here, of course. There's Willie Davis. But let's throw down this Arlene Brown tune. This is really something here. I'm a streaker, baby. Great stuff. Will this rally the White Sox on the south side in a 2-2 tie against the Moose, Bob Moose, on the loose. Dick Allen leading off in the bottom of the 7th of a 2-2 affair. Here's the pitch. 37's ball 4. Allen's a B stealer, but Sanguin was just inserted as a catcher, so he's got a -3 arm. He ain't going anywhere. Ken Henderson. 2-6. Let's take a look at Ken Henderson's card of 74. Fantastic year. 292, 20 homers, 66 walks. Great stealing, running, arm, range. Does it all. It couldn't do it all his entire career, but he had some shiny moments, we like to say. There were some fantastic years sprinkled through Ken Henderson's career. This is a base hit in the center field. Allen, 15. Now he could exploit Oliver here. 0 arm and go to third. Oh boy, I ain't doing it. I'm going to stay at second base. The last thing I need to do is shorten this inning with an out. So, White Sox, stay out of a double play. Force the Pirates to get you out 3 times. Take your chances in the 2-2 affair. And Bill Melton at the plate, who's homered earlier. Bill Melton. Stay out of the double play, Bill. Here's the pitch to Bill Melton. 66 off of Moose is a K. Now you got Bob Stinson. 3-6. Let's take a look at Bob Stinson, a free agent signee away from the Expos. Great pickup for the White Sox. This Strat-O-Matic version of the White Sox did an outstanding job of signing guys away from other teams that work out here. Stinson was an Expo. Bry was a Twin. On the pitching staff, I think it might be all homegrown. Forster. Well, they got Mike Garman from the Cardinals. Yeah, all the free agents on the White Sox are nice contributors, which is why they're in the position they're in. Stinson, 261, 3 homers and 111 at-bats with plenty of walks and power for a switch-hitting catcher. That's not bad at all, really. That's frankly pretty darn good. 3-6, triple 1 to 6 is single dot. That does a couple things. Gives the Pirates, the White Sox a lead, and it breaks Bob Moose. And that will end the Moose day here in Chicago. He goes 6 1/3. You know, a lot of times when your pitcher is in a loss and you take him off the hook for the loss, you get him out of there. But Pittsburgh likes Bob Moose as a world champion, and now they put him back on the hook for a loss. They're going to go to their best lefty and only lefty in the bullpen, Ramon Hernandez, to keep this one a 1-run affair. Ramon was 5-0 with a .167 ERA in 70 innings in 1972. Him and Justy were actually better in 72 Then when they won the World Series in 71, Ramon Hernandez coming on in the 7th with runners on the corners and 1 out. He'll face Talkin' Tony Muser. He does very good against lefties. Infield up. Tony Muser's the batter. Here's the pitch. 67, he strikes out. And with 2 outs, it's Aparicio looking for an insurance run. 1-7, let's take a look at Louis Aparicio. You found his power zone, folks. This guy delivers clutch hits historically for the White Sox. My goodness, he does such a 250, 60, 70 hitter. But he always comes through with RBIs in clutch moments. At least the Strat-O-Matic version. Various cards of the White Sox, of the Red Sox, doesn't matter. Still a 2 at short. 72, a 257 hitter. Against a lefty. Homer, 1-5, double the rest. It's going to be a 2-base hit. That scores 1 run. Stinson, 10-runner, he'll run. 11-12 against the Oliver arm. And he scores a 1. That's a 2-run double by Louis Aparicio. And the White Sox are taking a deep breath, and their fans are going nuts here in Comiskey. Keeping their season on track, you'd think. Gossage gets up in the bullpen. We expect him to get 6 outs. Attempt to get 6 outs. Carlos May is the batter. 6-12, rolls back to the mound. And that's the end of the inning. Carlos May will exit the game. Steve Bry will take the outfield spot. Actually, Bucky Dent's going to go play some second base for Orta. That's all the White Sox defense in an attempt to protect a 3-run lead and give Terry Forster a win, taking the win away from Bart Johnson that was there momentarily. Here it comes in the 8th inning. You have to do it. Rich Gossage is on one of the first relief pitching Cy Young ballots that I've had, as he has pitched a staggering. How many games have the White Sox played again? Let me look at this. He's pitched 19 innings in 22 games. So that would be, he's on course to pitch 160 some innings, which would be ridiculous for a closer. Almost not quite to the level that Mike Marshall had for the 74 Dodgers, but you get the idea, folks. Gossage is going to come on in the 8th to get a 2-inning save with a 3-run lead. And it'll be George Theodore who came in when Hal King exited. 1-6, grounds the 3rd. Larry Milbourne. 1-8 is a walk. Rennie Stennett, 57's a K. Richie Hebner, 67 is a K. Bottom of the 8th. We'll turn this down just a little bit now. There we go. Bottom of the 8th inning of a 5-2 affair. Ramon Hernandez, he'll continue in the game. He's only pitched 2/3 of an inning. It'll be Steve Bry. Actually, not Steve Bry. It'll be Buddy Bradford in the 2 spot. 6-10 short X. This is Milbourne's a 3E38. Makes the play. Bucky Dent in Orta spot. 2-8 is a single. Dick Allen. 55 short X. This is Milbourne again, 338, but this time it's an error. This Pirate shortstop situation, they won the World Series a year ago with the worst shortstop defense I've had in the league, but it's only because their opponent was the Tigers. And the Tigers' shortstop situation was much worse. So somebody with bad shortstop play was going to win the World Series. Now you can see the dilemma you get with bad defense late in games at shortstop. You have 2 on now, 1 out. And Ken Henderson, 57's a K. And Bill Melton, who has a homer in this game, 3-6. Oh, it's single 1 of 3, line out the rest against a lefty. Tough break there for Bill. We'll go to the 9th, 5-2. Fans are up. Can Gossage finish the win? It'll be Roberto Clemente leading off. 2-6 is a base hit. Al Oliver, 58's a strikeout. Wooly Stargell, home run will not tie the game here. 3-6. Let's take a look at Stargell's card. Yeah, that's predictable. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to put him on base with a walk, so I'm going to keep it in the strike zone. And Stargell was going to find him. If it was 100 miles an hour coming in, it was 108 miles an hour going out. Willie Stargell, one of his 44 home runs in 1973 with a 299 average. We got a one-run game, and that might be one of the... Gossage has only given up one run all year. He's given up 2 runs here in a 5-4 affair. It'll be Richie Zisk. 68, another strikeout. And with 2 outs, the fans are going nuts. It is Manny Sanguillen, and now he's got power against righties. It doesn't matter. Gossage has no hits on his card. Here's the pitch to Manny Sanguillen. 43, flies it into left field. This is a defensive replacement, Steve Bry. He's outstanding at 2-6 in left field. That's your ball game. So the defensive replacement, Bry over Carlos May, grabs the last ball hit. Sanguillen. And that's your final out. And the White Sox hold on to a 5-4 win. So it's going to be, the winner's going to be Forster, who blew the hold, gets the win. Gossage gets the save. The loss is still Bob Moose, 6 1/3 innings and a loss. So, once again, the home team wins interleague. White Sox tie the series. They needed to do that. Slightly more important for the White Sox than the Pirates, I suppose. So, we'll pause and come back. We'll give you the box score of this game and the results of Game 3 in Pittsburgh. By the way, the pitching matchup in that Game 3 in Pittsburgh. Tom Bradley for the White Sox. And I think it's the Candyman. Yeah, John Candelaria in Game 3. Oh, boy. Tom Bradley, Candelaria in Game 3 coming up. We'll give you the results of that and the box score of this, so stay tuned. Well, baseball fans, here's the box score for Game 2. The White Sox holding on 5-4. The win goes to Forster, giving up the inherited runner. And then Gossage, the 2-inning save, giving up 2 runs, but they had enough of a cushion to get another tight, nail-biting victory for the White Sox, beating Bob Moose 6 1/3, 6 hits and 5 runs. So what happens when we go to Pittsburgh for the rubber match? It is an interesting game. It is Tom Bradley versus Candelaria. The White Sox, one of the problems this year is the starting pitching has not been able to go deep into games, forcing so much work out of their bullpen. And the idea was, can Tom Bradley get you deep into the game? Well, yes and no. He actually gets a complete game, and he pitched outstanding in 6 of the 8 innings, 7 of the 8 innings. But unfortunately, in the 3rd inning, the Pirates got to him. Single, a double, 4 runs in the 3rd inning, while the White Sox offense was not cooperating and could do nothing against the rookie Candelaria. So, good, bad news story, typical for the Chi Sox. Bradley does go deep into the game, but he did give up the 5 runs, a triple in the 8th by Oliver and a sac fly by Clemente. Bradley's line, 8 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, no walks, which is very good, and 5 strikeouts. So, had the White Sox offense gotten going in this one, it might have been a different result, but they couldn't. They had struggled against the lefty Rooker and Candelaria. In this one, Candelaria, 7 1/3, 2 hits, a run. It was unearned, inherited relief. Dave Justy finally got an appearance in this series to get the final 5 outs. He does that. He gets a save, and the Pirates win the game 5-1 and win the series 2 out of 3. And the home team won every game. So what does it mean? The 2 teams were 13-10 at the start of this game. So you got the defending champs, and if the White Sox think they're at their level, the answer is yeah, 13-10. It's just, you're all on the same level here. It's just going to come down to the tight finishes of these games. When we look at the standings, you see the White Sox now 13-11, just a game behind the Royals, who just simply have an easier schedule, frankly. And the Pirates needed that win, and there they are. Tied up against the Cubs again. 14-10. Actually, the Pirates are playing better in the regular season this year than they did a year ago when they won the World Series. So I have no idea how it's going to work out. It's going to be a wild finish going into the All-Star break and in the postseason tournament before the playoffs. It's going to be crazy tiebreakers and fun. We got a highly competitive league this year, and it's very hard to predict what's going to happen. But I would say if you got money on the White Sox, keep it there. They can, even if it's a wild card or division winner, it doesn't really matter that much at this point. Same with the Pirates. If they don't win the division and they're a wild card, doesn't matter that much. I think a number 6 seed could, and a number 1 seed pretty much have equal footing once the playoffs roll around. So break up the Pittsburgh Pirates, the defending world champions. They hold off the hard-charging White Sox 2-1. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.